Kick the flow, kick the flow, kick the flow, kick the flow, kick the flow.
Alzheimer's and all the rest of it on the medication. And then unfortunately, last November, my mum had a fall in the house and had to have spinal surgery. And then since then, her memory hasn't been great. I mean, the GP keeps saying, oh, you know, it could be just her age. And then unfortunately with the COVID, they've not been able to get her to a memory clinic to do the testing. So, you know, listening to your lady just before, it's been my mum and dad in, you know, their big house on their own in Thornton Heath, but my dad's saying he's struggling, trying to cope with her when the carers are not there in the morning or afternoon. So again, it's been, you know, like your lady was saying about considering putting my mum in a care home, you know, but again, it's like with the COVID, you're not too sure if it's a safe place for her to go.
Is there any money put aside, baby?
My eldest brother that moved to Ireland takes care of my mum's financial side regarding, you know, when she said when it's time for her and her funeral.
Yeah, no, hold on. You're so funny. You're talking about, you're talking about her when she's dead. I'm talking about her living, right? So I'm not talking about provision for death, right, at the minute, because I've been pulled up about that a few times today. I'm talking about the quality of her life now. Is there, because a mate of mine, very close mate of mine in Hackney, his mum and dad are at home, and he says they have 3 carers come in, and you know that's because they want to stay in the house, and that's how it works. So it's probably quite expensive, but it's a lot cheaper than a care home. So I just wondered if that was something that you could consider.
Well, we did discuss with the social worker. Yes, well, I did. It was them sending another visit for like the afternoon. So she would have 3 visits a day. But I think the fear is when my dad wants to go out or take the dog for a walk or go up to his allotment is when the carers aren't there. Because she was walking with a Zimmer frame. She has her good days and her bad days, and then there's days when she can't, and then there's a few days she's fallen out the bed in the middle of the night. He has to go down because they've moved her from upstairs downstairs.
Yes.
Because she was using the stair lift, and then one day when he came home, she'd fallen off that, and you know, so the things are in place, but it's getting to a point where he's actually telling, you know, the ambulance crew when they come round, or you know, the rapid response people that he can't cope. You know, because I think you
have to have the conversation, baby.
Yeah.
So no, don't remember. We've done this. It isn't oh my God, It's like, here is a challenge. How are we going to better look after mummy, and how are we going to better support daddy? That's the way I think you have to approach it. Because if you approach it with the glass half empty, then you're in a problem straight away. Because it might be, because actually I talked to Anna O'Neill, our reporter, about allotments. We're going to do it next week, because I've got a big thing about allotments, because I think, you know, they're fantastic. That when dad wants to walk the dog, I would suggest he walks the dog to the allotment. That's when the third person comes in and gives him effectively respite care. That's but get in touch with Age UK. We've done a lot with them, right? And if you give Lauren your number, if that doesn't work, we'll try and put you in touch with police people like Margaret, because I know because I know there are organisations specifically set up to help people like you. It might be that they can help with the cost of it, but that third carer comes in at a time when dad has something to do, which means that he gets a little break too. BB, I'm only moving on because I want to get Liv on, but thank you so much for calling the show. Liv, you're our final caller of the evening. Good day to you.
Oh, good day to you. I haven't spoken to you before, Eddie.
Well, welcome. Thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate it.
So I was listening to all of you callers talking, and you were talking about preparing. My mother actually prepared, you could say, about nearly 6-7 years ago by getting the funeral plan and sorting all that out. My dad passed away, it'll actually be a year on Saturday, a year ago. So everything was already planned. And I mean, he had been in and out of hospital a few times over over the 3 years previously, so there were things going on. And then sadly he became ill, and he was in hospital. And they basically said to us he's dying. And at first we thought it was going to happen within a couple of days. He was actually there for 2.5 weeks before he passed away. In that time, they said to us, "You've got to decide," because they obviously didn't want to. They were talking about the beds and everything. They said if he's going to live longer, then you've got to think either about having him at home or a nursing home. And we weren't really sure, but they got me starting to look at nursing homes. Although I hadn't actually started, they started up the process. But the thing is, there's a long waiting list for nursing homes. And he basically, before I got there, he actually, he passed away within the 2 weeks. And then there were the things. I think what I want to say is that you can never really ever be prepared. But if you can do things in advance, like sort out the funeral plan and everything, it does mean that you've got some arrangements and that you can just follow those instructions and carry on doing the rest. I mean, it was an emotional time. And,
but it almost sounds like Mum's passing was easier than Dad's.
No, my mum had.
Kick the flow, 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 kick the flow.